Hello. Let us continue. You are perfectly welcome to talk to yourself throughout. So, last time we had just finished speaking to the salt-scarred navigator. We fed him some wine and he told us all about things. So, let's see. Ah yes, we gotta go seek Issery on the Isle of Cats, but first we are going to go down south and try and discover some more places to get a little bit more cash. With a forlorn and wailing cry, a megalops turns on its back, legs neatly folded as bluish guts and blood gouts from its wounds. Its golden glow begins to dim. We got loads of food, so we're going to dissect it for knowledge. We failed. 89% chance, and we failed. You haul it aboard and set to work with your knives and acids, and it flops unexpectedly into life. Sailors rush to your aid with guns and boarding pikes. By the time they've finished, you're unharmed, but there's not much left of the beast. You tip it reluctantly into the sea. Okay, let's try that again. You set to work with your knives and acids. It is an undistinguished adolescent specimen. A megalops of one of the deep sea crab species, but its eyes, normally vestigial in these troglodytic beasts, are large and rather beautiful. The golden glow is almost gone now, although sparks leap now and then to your knife. We gain 25 fragments. We've discovered the Zubmariner Canal. Cumaean Canal. I believe this is where you crashed the little boat into the gates. The canal ascends through locks and gates and shadowed turns to the sunlight of the surface. So here you can actually travel back up to the surface, to old London, but it's very dangerous and you need supplies and a lot of fuel. We can listen to the surface gossip. The ships of the surface linger here. This is their lifeline to a warmer place. A card game ends badly when one surface sailor knifes another for all the usual reasons. The other players scrabble from the coins that spill from our pockets, but you snatch up a scrap of paper they overlook. Curious markings, dates, times, code names, spies work. We now have one moves in the great game. Moves in the great game, the nations of Europe and beyond compete for influence. Their plots reach even to the Neath. Many ships pass this way, but perhaps you'll pick up something they missed. The gates open and shut. The locks remain free from sabotage. If anywhere besides London is safe in all the Undersea, it's here. The surface nations have interest in keeping the way open. So we've got one perfunctory port report. And pretty much that is all for here. It's all only fuel and supplies to buy, so we're just going to keep down south. Now there is big ridiculous ships that spawn down here, I know that for a fact. We have discovered the Iron Republic. Something awaits us in port. I believe they don't like peppermint oil and being demanded. You did find that first, yes. Hell's client state, be wary, their laws are not the laws of man or nature. Factory engines roar like false lions, blood thunders in dock pipes. Crimson lightning skitters across the deck, reaps to the rail, curls there like a cat. The city is reflected in glassy calm harbour water. The citizens there have the heads of dogs and serpents. Hell has brought freedom to the Iron Republic. Freedom from all laws, even those of nature. So here we can engage a gunnery officer, which we don't actually have at the minute, so we're probably just going to go ahead and do that. Captain, are you looking for a gunner? I'm looking for a ship. Here are my references. Here are more references. Here's my design for a whistling shell. Here's my colleague. He'll stay on shore. Here's my hand. Will you take it? So this guy costs 20 echoes, which is pretty cheap. Oh, this is interesting. Room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. Wait, let me take notes. Paper. So we've now got a gunnery officer. And we'll go ahead and assign and talk to. So let's see. So to talk to him and learn his story, we need to get 5 torpedo components. We've only got 1 at the minute. Or we could spend secrets with him to increase our iron. Market of Flies, Market of Hungers, the Parliament of Flies. The Market of Hungers with its spires and sigil. Is it a parody of a bazaar? Today, flies fill its arcade. Buzz, buzz. This is unlocked when another day the Iron Republic no more than 4. New day comes. Visit the shops tab. After this visit, the Parliament will no longer be here. The Republic seeks zoop and supplies instead. The cavalry doctrine is open for business. So we can buy some stuff here, but nothing we really want. So we can compile a port report. It won't be entirely straightforward. The streets won't lie straight and the ink freezes whenever you look away from your inkwell. The sensations of the public are overwhelming. This is a desire for years. That is a hatred for fountains. There is an emotion that can only be expressed mathematically. Now you're awash with a nostalgia for the hatching of the egg. Write it down, write it all down. Perhaps you'll be rid of it. So we actually lost 2 hearts in doing that, putting us down to 24 overall. The cavalry doctrine is open, which I don't fully understand. So we're going to undock and redock and see what happens. No. Ah, here we go. Market of Hungers. Choice under story to access more goods. So what we can do is we can buy fuel here really cheap. The market always sells fuel. Use a market story choice for more goods. So I guess we come back another day. The Grand Geode is some distance to the south, so it's pretty much straight down from us. Ooh, sparkles. A distant song like a mirage. A naval base with Royal Navy's emblems curiously amended. Efficient, bright-eyed women and men work briskly everywhere you look. They are singing hymns with unfamiliar words. Hard-faced Royal Marines watch you carefully, barring entry to the geode's heart. A plaque by the dock has been effaced with orange paint, but you can still make out the original inscription. Station 5, adjunct. Let's speak to someone in authority. What is this place? The Commodore may be able to give you a few minutes. The Commodore shakes your hand warmly. He's a handsome, open-faced fellow in an immaculate navy uniform. His office is equally handsome. It overlooks the glittering interior crystal cliff. It must be as well lit as the study underneath. He deflects questions about the purpose of this installation. Classified, you know. But smilingly offers you tea, biscuits, and mineralogical anecdotes. The biscuits are good, but the anecdotes rather blend one into the next. You find yourself nodding, then jerk suddenly awake. The Commodore is smiling. Your cup is empty. You feel well, very well. A little euphoric even. Come back soon, he says softly. So we lost a load of terror. We gained 1 memory of distant shores. And we now have a memory for our memoirs of Sunstroke. You have spoken to the Commodore in Grand Geode, but your memory is a little hazy. The light, it's pretty. So we've got a menace, yearning, burning, I think I got date raped. Yes. So there are a few things we can do here. Have we got a first officer? Yes, we have got a first officer. This first officer increases mirrors and pages. We're going to leave that for now. Though actually maybe we should pick her up. Because we've got a memoirs, a sunstroke. But first let's compile a port report. The Marines are watching. So let's pick up the Carnelian exile. A dark spectacled woman marches up to you in some haste. Captain, take me with you. I am no longer welcome here, and I will show you where we need to go. Here I am. A ship, I suppose, is both always here and never there, because there becomes here. So we're gonna swap over this person because pages is more useful, I think, early on to increase your level faster. I'm gonna speak to her. So to invite her to dine with us, we need a searing enigma. We can also use her to increase our mirrors, or we can ask her a question if we have locked at last Salt's song. So off we pop. Okay, let's check the shops first. Nothing is available here. So at the minute we're just looking for a cook, which is unfortunate. The Dawn Machine is some distance to the southwest. We have discovered the Dawn Machine. What we can actually do is we can sail behind the Dawn Machine. Remember what happens when you do this. The Dawn Machine's roots extend here into a luminous, impossible space. You breathe gold, you think light. Dawn's fingers. Worm fates crawl on your skin. The machine is sick, its hatred threads your veins. Time will die, the chain will end. Relief. We found you drifting, the sequencer is saying. You blink, he slaps you on the shoulder. You were blessed, my friend. Welcome home. We have gained 50 terror, putting us up to 70. We've gained the Western stigma you have seen behind the Dawn Machine. We now have 1 rising supremacy, the Dawn Machine, the sun, the sun, the sun, the sun. And we are returning to port. So we have got quite a lot of terror now. So let's see if we can decrease that. So we gained 25 terror. You saw the Commodore, and then there was something bright. You discussed matters of importance. You're certain of it. Teasing clues linger in your memory. Azalea asked to stay behind, and you permitted it because it'll all become clear later, probably. So we are now 95 terror, so we're going to have to go straight back to London pretty much. We have 1 extraordinary implication. We lost 1 crew, and we're pretty scared right now. So let's bail out of here and off back to London. If your crew drops down too low, you'll be unable to sail at full power. You'll only be at 1. have to try and keep our terror super low here. We've got to sail in light. Which is going to be difficult down here. So we don't want anything to do with a Republic Dreadnought right now. A questing tentacle. Gleaming it rises from the sea and coils lazy around a sailor who does not speak or cry out. She only steps into its embrace and is gone. No one asks and no one will answer. The sea is quiet, nothing stirs, but you saw the moon-pale limb of the monster. Was it there? Did the sailor leap? Surely you didn't push her, surely. So we have lost one more crew. And this bastard is about to fire on us. This is really altogether no good here. I'm gonna have to stop here a second and let the terror go down a little. A tooth-cracking treasure. A chunk of grit baked into your ship's biscuit. You crack a tooth and curse. Your crew chuckle, but when the object turns out to be a diamond, small and badly flawed, but a diamond nonetheless, they all hush. Diamonds are sacred to stone, one says. Give it to the Z captain. It'll be luck for all of us. I think given the amount of terror we got, we're going to have to go with lucky. Do the careful thing. Sailors pray to stone when they want home, hearth and healing. She'll be the kind of god you'd want on your side. So we lost 5 terror, which is good. The diamond glints once as it reaches the apex of its arch. Down, down, and a wave reaches up to take it. We now know something of the 3 gods of the Z. Is this little fella gonna chase us all the way home? So returning to London, always reset your terror to 50. A breath of relief. As soon as the gangplank touches the quayside, the terrors of the deep sea lighten. Walk taller, smile a little, smile more readily, but what dreams may cling. So terror's gone down. All the clatter and song of the dockside, it soothes the soul. Are there messages for you? Something has changed underneath. Someone wants to sign on, and we have another free evening. So, visit to Clathermont's Tattoo Parlour. You're a real sailor now, after all. You could go to one of those tobacco and pray places by the docks, but the prices at Clathermont's are more reasonable, and his daughters are real artists. But what sign will you choose? It's probably going to go with whatever gives us mirrors. So we could get the Dauntless Hand to commemorate our daring, the Wheels of Mist to commemorate our skill, the Unflinching Eye, which is the mirrors one. You've seen such sights. Splendor to recall brighter days, or Gambit. That'll increase our pages by 2, and all of these also cure 25 points of terror. So we're going to go with the mirrors to bump us up to 61. The gold needle pricks, Lily Clathermont hums. At the end of the process, the tattoo's gaze is so expressive you almost expect it to blink. You are almost hesitant to look at your own arm in the eye. So we got 2 mirrors, up to 55 base, 61 with our crew, down to 25 terror, which is good. We spent 1 echo and 1 memory of distant shores. So let's go to our lodgings. So we're going to rest in the Blind Helmsman, which costs 10 echoes but will reduce that a little bit of terror, down to 24. We're now restful. So let's visit the Rose Market and see what they want. So they still want smooth and copper long box, live specimens. London. Let's carouse in the Wolfstack docks. We were fortunate, we lost 5 terror, we spent 10 echoes, and we have some recent news. Trouble and romance. As we all know, the sea is my only love. Okay, we're going to hire on some crew because we lost some, so we're going to go back up to 9 there for 30 echoes. There is a new recruit who wants our attention. It's just a desperate sailor. Just increase our crew by 1, but we don't want a full crew really because it'll use more supply. Let's visit the dark spectacled Admiral. So let's see. Let's submit our port reports. Well, if you've been there, I suppose we may as well hear about it. The fee is nominal, though. We get 5 echoes for that. The Iron Republic. Excuse me, I need to unlock this. And this. Oops. And this. Could you place your report inside? Yes, I imagine someone will read it eventually. There's always someone. Wait, this is blank. Yes, both sides. No, I assure you. No, I know. These things happen in the Republic. Consider this an ex gratia payment to cover your costs. So we gained 1 fuel, lost 1 terror, and gained 10 echoes. The Grand Geode. The Grand. Yes, of course. We're generally quite well informed on that topic. But since you're here, perhaps you may as well let us know what your own impressions were. The Admiralty office takes notes scrupulously, but with an expression of mild terror, like a novice vivisector wincing with a scalpel. The rest of the office studiously busies themselves with other tasks. We gained 10 echoes, 1 fuel. We gained 1 favour with the Admiralty for a total of 10. We gained an accomplishment, survey the Grand Geode. You have seen the house of the elect of the Dawn Machine. Speak with the Dark Spectacle Admiral. We do not have an appointment. We can, let's see, we have got some moves in the great game we could submit. And what else? Let's see. Yes, we can submit our moves in the great game for now. So we lost one. Moves in the great game. He has you repeat it all twice. He doesn't take notes. It's a little beyond me, he tells you, but I have a friend in the palace who will be interested, very interested. Thank you for your fee. We gained 30 echoes for that, and we gained one more favour. So what we are going to do is, let's see, ask him what he needs. So he wants more strategic information. So we're going to go to the dry dock. So what we can do is we can use our Admiralty's favours to repair our hull. So it'll cost us 25 echoes, it'll completely repair our hull, and it'll cost us 3 favour as well. So we're back up to full hull. Let's go. Perhaps not. Let us visit the alarming scholar. So we can sell her memories of distant shores, which we have one of. We can offer her an extraordinary implication. So first off, a piquant piece of picturesque pilgrimage. As the alarming scholar listens, tears well in the depths of those shining, or is it blazing eyes? The overflow splashing onto the desk blotter. Stop, she sobs at last. This is too beautiful. Allow me to bring the macaw of memories I wish each individual tone recalled. So we gain 10 echoes, and our favours with the antiquarian is raising. So change one change point, 1 needed to reach level 2. So what we do, we will offer her an extraordinary implication as well. I will place it with the others. One day I will have enough. So we gain 250 echoes for that, which is fucking tons. And our antiquarian has increased to 2. So I think that is all for now here. So we are going to go and try and pick up some devil bone dice from Mount Palmerston, which is up in the north. But first we are going to buy some more supplies. And maybe a little bit more fuel. And I am going to roll a cigarette. You okay, baby? And off we go. So you can see on the map this red line. That means once we leave this, cross over that, everything is going to be randomly generated. Some places sort of stay in roughly the same area. I think some places stay in the north, some places stay in the south. So we're going to head sort of slightly northwards, northeast. So Jellyfleur. The Jellyfleur. Is it a young jellyfish, a lesser subspecies? Do the dreams of jellyfish become real? In any case, it's a sad slick of goo dissolving into the sea. Let it disperse, and watch its rainbow colours fade. From above, the jellyfleur's cap looks like a little like a woman's face. She dissolves like smeared paint. So we got a Z story. So we're looking for Mount Palmerston and Nuncio, where we need to take our Lorne Fluke from the first place we visited. We appear to be in a bit of a dead zone here. The Chapel of Light is some distance to the northeast. This is where our sigil-ridden officer wanted to go. Do you hear music? Furtive faithful gather in the shadows between the many, many candles. A bell tolls in the chapel tower, cracked iron laughter. Beware, the aisle is full of voices. So, firstly, we are going to speak with our sigil-ridden navigator. This is the place, hark the bell. You give chase. Within, the air is heavy and hushed. You enter to see your navigator shaking a smiling priest by the collar. It led me here. Tell me what it means. Look at it. Look at it. The priest disengages himself as politely as possible. I'm sure we can find a path to put you on, my friend. He examines the sigil with the professional air of a collector, but we will need your help in return. So, we can either pay a price of 2 live specimen that we don't have, or we can pay another price. The priest slips his arm around your shoulders. For you a lesser payment, he whispers. Post no guards on your ship tonight. Ask no questions. And in the morning, perhaps you'd like to join us for breakfast. A red and white smile. So we have neither of those at the minute. So what we can do is eat at the chapel's bounty. A smiling priest unlocks the door of the storehouse for you. Here, eat, but take nothing away with you. They have shark steaks plucked from the sea, thin slices of cavern tuna, translucent and delicate as paper, little crimson cakes flavoured with a cinnamon and coated with poppy seeds, tomatoes impossibly ripe and sweet so far from the surface. Gorge yourself, leave with the juices dripping from your chin. So we lost all our hunger. So, what else can we do? We can attend a service at a chapel. The great bell tolls. The few and ragged faithful gather for St. Arthur's lesson. Bring your offerings. So this is a 96% chance of success. Oh yes, the priest says, smiling. The drowned man hums tonight. His song, like fish roe, clouds the water. He waits for the congregation's assent. We will feel him in the hearts of us, and if his tune is caught, it will be raised by the sky where the bright birds pass. Here the congregation cry out like birds, and the cries rattle away into the rafters. And the air hangs sultry, and the gods no longer frown. At the end of the service you leave, your lips still wet and your stomach filled with secrets. You could grow rich on this diet if you live. So we succeeded. We gained 1 secret. We lost 5 supplies, which is no good. It leaves us on 1. We gained 10 terror, and we now have 1 St. Arthur's lesson, the memoirs of the lessons of the chapel. So now we do have 1 menace, unaccountably peckish, which we can use to we can use that with our sigil-riven navigator to pay another price. The chapel's congregation are soft-footed. No one on board hears them come or go. In the morning, a crewman's bed is empty. You divert your crew's concerns. Later, you take part in the late, warm red breakfast in the church's crypt. When you emerge, the smiling priest, your navigator, hurries forwards from a pew. The sigil, what does it mean? Who carved it on me? What did I do to deserve it? The smiling priest raises a hand. You're on a journey, my friend. Take 1 step at a time. I've seen your sigil before, carved in the ice at Frostfound. Go there. You will answer your first question. That will lead you to the next. The navigator's thanks are muted. He plods back to your ship. Before you leave, the smiling priest gives you a wink. So we lost 1 crew, and we became even more unaccountably peckish. And we should go to Frostfound next. Unfortunately, we do only have 1 supply at the minute, so we are going to have to find somewhere to eat pretty soon. The avid horizon is to the northeast. Did we actually compile a port report while we're there? That would be a good idea. So there is a Mount Nomad, whatever that is, chasing us. Let's gather intelligence. A smiling priest in a red cassock tends the chapel. The congregation are shy of light. They come and go in little ships, and it's strangely difficult to count them. Perhaps some of them are imaginary. Still, you note the name of a ship or two. The avid horizon. We're pretty damn low on food at the minute. And we're being chased by a floating mountain. This is the end. Two vast winged shapes guard a gate of something like resin, smooth but uneven. It is deep gant, the colour that remains when all other colours have been eaten. Ice crusts over the crack between its valves. Approach and your breath freezes, falls tinkling in shards from the air. It would be utterly foolish to touch the thing. The merciless wind blows from everywhere to everywhere. It passes without effort through your bridge coat, your flesh, your lungs. The dock lies empty. So we could open the high gate, but we have a certain matter in London to achieve this. Look into the stars. Stars float in the mirrored night of the waves. Watch them a while. So we gain 10 terror and 1 fragment. These are real stars. They burn above the roof of the Neath, beyond the earth, in the spaces of heaven. Even so far away, even now their eyes are on you. But here in the night under the world you are safe. You return to your senses gasping. Your hands are cold and numb. How long have you been watching the stars? Gather intelligence, such as there is to gather out here where nothing moves. This stillness is itself of interest to the Admiralty. It is not impossible someone foolish might attempt to open the gate. It is not inconceivable that it might open from the other side. And what then? Your journey here may attract the attention of a certain crimson patron. Return your port report to the Admiralty in London to unlock a new story. Finally, you heard a story. The ice by the hunters, by the gate's edge, there was a whisper about a hunting quest and a final revenge. Yes, this is what the rumours meant. A hunter frozen in the ice, hands contorted, in claws, mouth agape. With her left hand she had plucked her own eye from the socket. It lies very close to the surface of the ice. If the stories are true, there's a dark virtue in that eye. Take it then, but perhaps you should put it in a jar. Yeah, I think the eye might be... We might have to give him the eye to get the Gant colour. So, really, we're pretty fucking starving over here, so we're gonna have to find some food sharpish. That goddamn mountain is still there. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Might blow up our engine here, but if we just sit there, it's gonna fucking kill us. stuck in a bit of a snowstorm here, unfortunately, with the tyrant moth coming for us. In the watches of the night you pad softly past the hatch to the crew quarters. A man cries out softly in his sleep desperately. Another, the captain can't take to be seen to take these things seriously. We lost one terror. We're very nearly out of food. We discovered tortoise. We've discovered the Can's glory. This is the domain of New Canate, whose ancestors came here long before London fell. So we should be able to get some food here, but it is generally extortionately priced. Take a meeting concerning a matter of no importance. The servant of Timon is missing. His loss is a danger. Officially, a former servant of the Timon who did not engage in the gathering of strategic information did not appear to disappear to the undersea port of Anth, which officially does not exist. At length you hear what this servant did not look like, and strict prohibitions against pursuing him. Officially, no one in Can's glory would have any interest or be at all inclined to reward you with money and connections if you were to go to Anth. They would not care for a report of his situation or any information he may be unable to bring home. So we are going to have to go down to, there's Can's glory, Can's heart and Can's shadow, I believe. Half ration, hushed voices, tired faces. There isn't time for rousing speeches, but a quiet word here and there will help. We have failed our challenge. Perhaps you shouldn't have made that joke about boiled bat. Sailors take their superstitions seriously. Gained 5 terror. Memories of plenty, hot porridge with creamy milk and honey, the smell of roast chicken, rubbery lumps the way they cook them on Mutton Island, the crisp flesh of newly unearthed Eden fungus. Oh God. Distract yourself, find something else, anything else, run emergency drills, debate philosophy. We lost 2 terror. You walk the ship watching the crew, addressing infractions and laziness. You're suitably distracted and they know their captain is watching. Cannes' heart, London's rival, an oasis of light in the salt black wastes. Canals thread the painted city, street lamps glow and water taxis putter. The Kaganians dislike merchants and they dislike foreigners. Foreign merchants induce paroxysms of antipathy. Perhaps sufficient bribes will buy your way into the Nephrite quarter. Not here, surfacer, but the Kagathians have been generations underground, and to them all Londons are surfacers. It seems you'll need to go to Cannes Glory, the nearby palaces of nobility, to seek a license. Time in the tea house. The Copper Quarter offers comfort to foreigners, but the prices are, to put it mildly, mischievous. A gentle trickling music plays behind screens of painted weedwood. Canate merchants sip tea and swap stories of darker-skinned elder continent captains. You sip pale golden tea and wince at the bill. So we do need to purchase supplies, but the price is ludicrous as it is put. Foreigners are permitted to buy food in the Copper Quarter, but only poor quality in small quantities. And so you go from street vendor to street vendor trying to purchase enough soggy smoked fish to feed the crew. So we're going to buy 2 of these because they are ludicrously expensive. So we can pay it to storytellers. The storytellers in the square of cedars wear brightly coloured kaftan-like clothing with silk sashes, in contrast to the more sober and subterranean dresses of the citizenry. For coin, even foreign coin, they'll sing epics of their nation's history. The fall of Karakoram, the last great Khan of the surface, was corrupt and foolish and cowardly. How fortunate we are that the leopard clan overthrew his line. Long may the leopard endure. He sold the Khanate's capital to the masters of the bazaar to satisfy his greed and escape battle. So Karakoram fell, so it became below the earth to the long night of the Neath. 700 years ago the Karakoram stood where London now stands. You feel eyes on you. A woman in white and gold uniform watches you closely. The loyalty service is suspicious of foreigners who want to learn Kaganian history. So we gained 1 menace. The white and golds are watching me. You now have 1 vision of the surface and we lost 5 echoes. So we've got a 32% chance of compiling a port report. The Khanate generally assumes that all foreigners or spies are worse. It would be a shame to disappoint them, but it might be dangerous to prove them right. We succeeded. Rivalry between the Leopard and Eagle clans, the concerns about Chelenate raids, some appalling gossip about the traitor Empress back in London. Perhaps you shouldn't write that last one down. And move on quickly, that fellow in the corner has an informer's look. So we gained 1 menace and we gained 1 port report. And that is pretty much all of it for there. So let's set off again. We're very low on food. So Cannes Shadow is to the east, but we're gonna head back west to try and find somewhere to buy some more food at a more reasonable price. So we go stop in at Field Haven on the Shepherd Isles where there are no sheep. And we're going to buy some fuel and some supplies, which is probably enough to get us back to London. And while we're here we might as well compile another... Oh. I don't remember these stories before. Tales of the Standing Stones, Tales of the Three Graves, or Tales of Thornwell Croft. Let's go with the Tale of the Three Graves. Who sleeps beneath the turf over on that island to the northwest. The Chelenate Rite, they're hunters. They killed a turtle the size of London and built their city in its shell. A ship from the Chelenate came by hunting the midnight whale. 3 of them had died cards, so their bodies couldn't go into the sea. They paid us for the land in whale ivory. I still got a piece, but I keeps it safe. So we got one Z story and one memory of distant shores. Now we'll compile a port report and off we go. So we're going to head back to London now to get our terror back down, repair and get some more supplies. I don't even know if you're still there, to be honest. Could very well just be talking to myself into the ether. So we do have some recent news out, so we can knock on the iron-studded gates with the news. The muscular prioress, the abscess lieutenant, come to the door to listen. She nods and makes notes. She pays particular attention to the news of the marsh beast predations and the traffic of rooftops. In return, she offers a rather perfunctory blessing, but the blessing reassures your crew. So we gained lost 2 terror. Your cheeks are wet. You think for a moment that is sweat, but then sorrow hits you like a falling stalactite. You're weeping. You double over, inconsolable. Let's control ourselves. Stifle your sobs. What is this? Why this sorrow? You dig your nails into your palms of your hands, pacing the ship. The sorrow retreats like mist to the borders of your thought. You master yourself, but the taste of salt remains. We've got another inspection, but we don't have anything illegal. Again, our fear drops down to 50 and we collect our messages. So we've got another free evening, and someone wants to sign on. So, let's see, let's go to our lodging first and read the papers. And then let us see who the new recruit is. He's just another normal sailor. Let's go to the Admiralty and submit our port reports. So, support our Shepherd's Isles as unsubstantiated hearsay. Again, 10 echoes and some fuel. Abbey Rock, another 20 echoes. The Chapel of Lights. There's something about the Undersea that breeds heresy and dissent. I rather think we might need to send a bishop of the South Wark out for a good bit of Christian shouting. So we get 20 echoes and some fuel. The Avid Horizon. I hope you intend to tell me that everything is quiet there. Can's Heart. Been to the salt steppes, eh? This is the kind of material is always of interest. How a nation could be so barbaric and so decadent at once is beyond me, but they're terribly dangerous. So we've got 75 echoes for that. And some more fuel. So, we don't have anything else I don't think that we can do. So we'll repair our ship. And let's see. Visit Mr. Sachs. Midnight. A presence dominates your lodgings. Its fur-trimmed robe is the red of blood on snow. Over your chair hangs a familiar brown sack, bulging with offerings. Londoners give generously to the crimson beast of winter, anything to be rid of it. The figure stares into the fireplace, smelling of soft musk and harsh ammonia. I require a steady vessel and a captain. Yours comes recommended. You will suffice. Mr. Sachs, take my service. An ancient contract, words not to be spoken lightly. So, we have explored the main trading ports around London, so we are going to take Mr. Sachs. The beast withdraws its hand from the fireplace, examining it. Packed like lacquer neath snow, it disappears behind its incarnadine robe. 3 deliveries by your release. Do not tarry. We have much to lose. We are in the service of Mr. Sachs. So once again we were fortunate, and we lost 10 echoes, lost terror, and once again the only love is the sea. So the alarming scholar, we can sell her a memory of distant shores for 10 echoes, and we've got one of those, so we're going to hold on to that. We can sell our Z story. Thrilling, let me hear every detail. First I must find my fountain pen. Oh, how regrettable. It has a spider impaled on the nib. Excuse me. Good heavens, it's still alive. Pass me that volume of Gibbon. There we go. Do you have another pen? Okay, so that's that done. A little gift. A fine evening to you, Captain. My what you might call a mentor is very fond of adventurous Z captains, and he would like to offer you what you might call dispensation, on account of he is so fond of Z captains. Behind the blind bruiser on the dock stands a dray piled high with fuel and supplies. Accept the dispensation. Do make sure you have 15 points of space in your hold. So we do have, so we're going to take the dispensation. Well, my patron hopes that you find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call on him at Medusa's head. Should that day come, we will make you very welcome and give you any safe conduct that you might require. Good evening to you. He salutes. So we gain 10 fuel and 5 supplies. We accepted his proposal, and our menaces are suspicious. This will increase as you conduct criminal activities or have contact with rough sorts. The higher your suspicion, the more fiercely the excise will search your ship. So we could probably do with buying a little more supplies. One more supply should do. And let's see what else we need. So I think we're all good. Mr. Sachs, in the service of Mr. Sachs. The crimson beast of winter lurks in your hold. This is not a healthy situation for you, your ship, or your crew. The first delivery. The creature calls for you. It is time to begin. Mr. Sachs is waiting, clutching what looks like a leg of lamb. The meat is rotten. The bone is well chewed. A fool sought a name that devours. It devoured him. A lifetime's wealth wasted on cravings that can never be satiated. When all was eaten, he stripped the meat from his fingers in search of solace. Still the hunger gnawed and screamed in his bellies. He thought this pitiful offering of poison might free him. Debts are not so easily paid. Deliver this to Can's Heart or Pigmote Isle. So we've got both those places on our map, so we are good to go on that. What we're going to do is we're going to set off and let's have a look. So Pigmote Isle is pretty close, so what we're going to do is we're going to head to Pigmote and then we're going to head straight up north from there and see what we find. So a good thing to do I find on the first playthrough is just max out one of your stats. When your character dies, you get to choose a sort of legacy bonus, and one of the legacy bonuses is you basically get to keep 50% of one of your stats. So if we can get that up pretty high, we get to start off with better stats in one thing, and then obviously we can progress another one. So we're going to stop off at Hunter's Keep because we got some recent news and we are still interested in talking to the last sister. So we're going to recontour the island and we have news. We're going to luncheon with Phoebe. Phoebe is soft voice, watchful and unpredictable. Phoebe has a story to tell of two lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the skylight of the dining room to the false stars glittering in the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The undersea shimmers below. Islands lie like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wooden chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depths. There is a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, says Phoebe quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there you finished the last course. The scowling maid reluctantly serves cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. So we gained one memory of distant shore. We are now acquainted with the sisters, but something has changed. We gained one supply. We lost some hunger and terror. And our fragment remains unchanged. We have an occurrence. The gods of the sea storms attention. An ancient anger knows us. So we're going to set off and go to Pigmote Isle before we anger Mr. Sachs, I believe. the main reason I find for killing these things anytime I see them is you can let them disperse for these stories. So we're going to deliver for Mr. Sachs. This is far enough from London, it will suffice. Big Moat's stored food diminishes quickly. Hungry rats and cavies stare at each other. A new glint passes from eye to eye as cravings and stomach pans spread. They stop to watch you in silence as you go past, mouth salivating. In the middle of town, a few of the hungriest begin digging a well. We've got 3 scintillac, coral that glimmers as if moonlight. It makes marvellous jewellery or a terribly expensive tea. So let's do this second delivery. Mr. Sachs produces a jewelled bird. The thief thought it would bring her riches. Perhaps it would. But when the gracious widow and the cheery man both covet what you stole, mere money ceases to be of concern. To offend one or make an enemy of the other, she sought a third way, a moment of inspiration that came too late. We want no part in this feud, settle it. So we do know where Mutton Island is, we don't know where the Isle of Cats is, so we're going to deliver to the Mutton Island. So we're just going to stop in at a couple of places here, grab some quick port reports for some easy cash. The crimson beast of winter towers above you on the snow-drowned street, its sack wide open to receive your offerings. I will take all you can give. I will take everything you have. I will take more. Mr. Sachs, take my best regard. An old Londoner's trick. It can work once. Mr. Sachs is silent for a moment. May you experience all the generosity that you deserve, it intones, stepping into the darkness and taking the light and all memory of light with it. You wake up in a cold sweat, fumbling to light the lantern beside your bed. Just a nightmare, but one that leaves you behind a sick sense of something barely averted. luminescent beasts like eyeless dolphins play in our wake. You will find a story when you next make port. A delivery for Mr. Sachs. The cheery man's fellow is drinking in the pub. Our little lost birdie, well there's a thing. You may have my patron's thanks, and here's your reward that was promised and is well deserved. Only thing is, there are only two folks that might have his cheeriness's property, and that's the one that stole it, and the one what bought it and figured out they could sell it back like indeed you are doing right here. So it is nothing personal, mind. I'm afraid I must break something. Little warnings to any others out there who might be thinking of being clever. Tell you what, how's about we make it fair? Use the coin, heads or legsies. He flips it high, almost to the rafters. Rather than waiting it fall, you punch him hard in the face. The pub's clientele grumbles but are soon mollified by free drinks all round. Paid for with the money in the chap's pocket, of course, leaving a little for yourself. So we gain 78 egos, punched the dude in the face, and we've completed our second delivery. We're just going to buy some supplies while we're here. And we're going to visit the hilltop above the town. You stand on a hilltop looking over the little village. Smoke from the chimney of the Cock and Magpie drifts straight upwards. As you watch, the smoke tilts. The sudden wind thins it to a pencil smudge, then nothing. The wind screams unexpectedly like a god cut in half. What a noise. It must be the caves around the island channeling the air. At least that's what the most comforting explanation. Below you, the locals take nips from a shared flask and make a toast towards the mainland. The wind is southerly. So we gained 2 terrors, we gained 11 fragments, and that is all for now. And we're going to chat to the fisherman and to get a port report. And let's see the final delivery. The beast stirs in your hold. The final assignment awaits. The life that was never lived. Mr. Sachs is staring out of a small wooden box as you enter the hold. Inside, wrapped in a few pitiful scraps of velvet, is a lock of blonde hair and a set of teeth, carefully polished, barely used. The wind was harsh, the fire went cold. Later the mother wished to forget a convenient tragedy. So Avid Horizon is right up in the north, so we're going to set off straight away. We're going to go straight up and then across. The crawling stars. The lookout shout far above the false stars in the cavern roof are shifting, a rare and ominous event. What now? Eyes on deck. Forbid them to look. You can't really stop them, but at least you at least discourage discussion. They won't like it, but it's safer. First officer, take that man's name, but they quieten so soon after. So we lost 1 terror. Off we pop. A crewman steps into your cabin. His uniform is one of your issue, though the face rings no bells. They do blend together after a while. This, however, does not look like the chap who swabs decks or loads cannons. Begging your pardon, Captain, permit me to introduce myself. Gervais, at your service, at least while the poor fellow tied up behind the galley remains regrettably indisposed. Might I trouble you a moment for your time before my escort to the brig? Hear him out. Let's hear him out. At least he is honest about his dishonesty. My gracious employer has grave concerns about your guest down in the hold, Captain, and of course to which you are now committed. Blood will spill before this voyage is over, but it needn't be yours. Gervais produces a small vial, crystal. The blood is red, redder than normal blood, almost glowing with vitality. Here is a more bitter vintage. When the time comes, I urge you to choose wisely. A favour from on high is rarely a poor investment. You know, I have one vial of highly questionable blood. So we may be near Mount Palmerston. Ah, sweet. Some distance to the north. We'll pop in here because we need to buy Devil Bone dice for the Venturer. Mount Palmerston. Sullen lights grow green at the jetty's edge. Behind the port buildings, the island is knee-deep in ash. There are ruins here and there of houses destroyed by fire. Far above the mountain top flickers red just for an instant. Explore the island. Tangles of thorn scrub climb the rocky slopes of the volcano. There are ruins here and there and houses destroyed by fire. Fresh water, a welcome sound. A quiet hollow, the stream of dark, sweet dark water. A grove of parasynthetic fruit trees, boughs heavy with symbiotic fungus. Let's resupply but keep away from the stream. Trees rarely attack. Fish, as any sailor knows, are chancier. So we lost one tear and gained one supply. Chat to the Portfolk of Brimstone Convention. There was a revolution in hell, and the aristocracy of devils fled here. Here they plot in exile. They don't do us any harm. They stay up there, and we stay down here. If hell's fighting itself, that's good for all of us, isn't it? So we could dig around among the ruins. We were fortunate, we gained 2 supplies. How many of them died down here? You could bury them in the ash, but they're so choked and jumbled you might as well leave them here below. The whole island is the unholiest imaginable ground anyway. At least you have souvenirs, 3 grinning skulls and a carven crooked cross. So we gained some supplies, an outlandish artifact, and gained a memory of distant shores. We now have 3 lamentable relics. This is all of us one day, but let's not be in a tearing hurry about it. So we can buy our devil bone dice here. I think we need 7 devil bone dice for this dude. Adventurer's scheme. Yeah, 7 devil bone dice. So that's good, we can take those back to him. And off we pop again. As soon as you dock, Mr. Sachs lumbers ashore. It's been preparing for this. Plunging a hand into its cloak, it removes a handful of ammonia-scented snow, places it on the ground and adds another on top. Into this it presses the teeth and hair from the small box. Potential substance. Only one thing needs to be added, as in the tales of the Gnomon. The Crimson Beast of Winter waits impatiently for you to provide it. You can either give our blood, a few drops would suffice, or substitute it for the highly questionable blood. I think we're going to give our blood. The essence of life. You nick your hand with a blade and hold it above the frozen mound. A drop wells up and falls, more follow. They fizzle in the lacquer, which softens and melts into a puddle of snow, a puddle from which a hand emerges, then a head, then another hand, stretching as it clambers up from nowhere. The shape of a child, its skin glistening, white snow rippled with red. You reach out a hand, the child grasps it with a chill of frostbite. Its legs finally form from the last of the lacquer, and it falls to its new knees, shivering and looking around in confusion. One of the sailors hurries over with a warm blanket. Another smacks his idiot head. Mr. Sachs stares down at the creature, which shivers and hugs itself. Inadequate, Sachs says. Again, striding to the sealed gate, it rests its gloved hand against it, basking in the chill. The whisper of a place too cold for gods. refreshing. Dispose of the Mongol as you see fit. Your service is done. Be gone before I change my mind. Something new will appear in your lodgings. Your service is concluded. Mr. Sachs has departed. Let us approach the snow child. It carves from the crimson beast, its snow still settling. It looks up at you, frightened and shivering for reasons that have nothing to do with cold. Your blood streaks through its ice. Are you taking me home now? Ask the snow child about its home. It remembers a life on the streets of London. London, yes, London. I wanted to play on the rooftops, but it made mother cry. She cries a lot, but she says it's not my fault. She'll be worried. Wait, you're not a devil, are you? Mother says to look out for devils. It gives you a suspicious sniff. No eggy smell. You can take me back, right? I've always wanted to go sailing. The snow child looks up at you. It won't take up much room. It could do with a name, though. At least until it remembers the one it used to have. So we can name it Winter, Chion, Loki, Boreas, or Negurushka, Elliot, or Rose. I think we're going to name it let's go with Winter. You reach out and take its cold hand in yours, leaving the crimson beast behind. So off we go again. So we're just going to head straight back to London. Do they admit visitors to the Brimstone Convention? Probably not, but you never know. You might sell tickets. Above the bay, look down and see Port Palmerston like a toy and the ruins of light gravel. You've come far, but the volcano's cone still rears above you. Rest a little before you go the last half mile. The road to the crater ends at a brass gate in the crater wall. Beside you stands an oddly charming little cottage. It's thrown together from pumice and basalt, but it features honeysuckle. An equally charming Devilis in a tea gown leans against the cottage wall, twirling a parasol and fanning herself. I am the guardian of this place, she remarks languidly. You may not pass, but I can offer you a cup of Amaryllia tea. Armillaria? That's not one of the poisonous ones, is it? You're pretty sure it's not. No doubt she'd be much less present if you tried to break down that gate, but just now she's courteous, soft-voiced woman in a tea gown. The tea is hot and nutty rather pleasant. She asks about your voyages. She is desperate for news of London, of its mists, its nights, its sick, its poor, its fires. She tactfully turns aside questions about the convention, but she shares some of the secrets of the Neath. Come and see me again next time you're here. Bring me a present if you like. Again, 60 fragments, which is good. And off we pop again. The chill of avid horizon runs deep in winter's lacra, even though such primal cold cannot last forever. Winter has shown you has something to show you. Winter hurries into the cargo hold. See, the walls are covered with charcoal marks. See, I'm shorter today. It is only a centimetre shorter than the previous mark, if that, but the worry is real. Every day it melts a little more. Winter rushes to the rail to watch the city emerge from the fog. Home, it cries, grinning. Everyone's going to be so surprised. Maybe Mother will cook roast a ptarmigan. The grin fades. The snow child looks down at his hands. Only I couldn't eat it, or bring her egg hot, or sit by her feet at the fire. It'd be like last year with the snow. We'd play with it and it was fun, but then it melted and Winter sniffles. I can't go home, can I? I'd make her cry again. Let's try to help him, even though he's got the mega fucking derp face. My grandpa always told me stories of the East. I always wanted to see it. Mother said he only kept going out to sea because of the trumpets at Gator's Morn, but must have lied, because when I asked her, he just laughed and said he never played any instrument. Winter's eyes shine. East, he never got there. But I will. I'll go further than anyone else ever gone. Not if I just melt though, because that'd be pointless. Winter looks up at you, clearly expecting you to perform the impossible. There is a city without kings where devils gather to rewrite the laws of nature. They may be able to assist with this dream for a price. So, first off, let's give the venture desires that give him his devil bone dice. When I was a boy, I asked my nurse, when you break a law, what happens to the pieces? Now I know, but I need something else. The venturer has a request. So we gained 500 echoes for that, which is pretty damn good. 500 echoes for 7 peculiar fish corpses, a very fine price. Or I imagine you need to hunt things, fierce things, 500 echoes for 7 pieces. So we have neither of those at the minute. Let us go to our lodgings and read the morning papers. The incarnadine robe of Mr. Sachs. It sits on your chair. This has possibilities. Londoners give generously to Mr. Sachs. It's really that time of the year, some of them ask. But a shake of the sack is all that it takes to convince them it is better to give than to receive the crimson beast of winter's displeasure. You return home with a bulging shack of shiny new toys. When you next wake, the robe is gone. So we got 3 secrets, 2 strategic information, 4 drowned pearls, 2 scintillac, a judgment's egg, 1 zoop, and 2 approved romantic literature. So let's return to the city and go carousing. We were fortunate. We lost some terror. And let's have a look. A new recruit. So it's just more normal Zailers. Let's visit and let us submit reports. Hunter's Keep. Mount Palmerston. Abbey Rock. The Chapel of Lights. Avid Horizon. And Quaker's Haven. He's hard to read with those glasses, but he reads the summary intently. Satisfactory. Eminently satisfactory, actually. Good work. Take this for your trouble. The clerk will see you paid. We're doing pretty well here. We got 1,000 echoes at the minute. We could. Our ship's looking pretty good, so we're not going to bother repairing it just now. So at the Rose Market, we don't have anything to sell. The Alarming Scholar. So we've got quite a lot of stuff at the minute, so we can trade some of it in. So we're going to give her 2 of our memory of distant shore. It leaves us with 1. Got 1 Z story to give her. We can give her a lamentable wreck or relic. Not a scientific curiosity necessarily, but the scholar has a collection or something. We get 5 echoes each for these. It doesn't really seem worth it. Judgment's Egg. What exactly is Judgment's Egg? Is this a soul? It's pale and bright. Souls like this, they say, are the spores of strange gods. I'm going to hold on to that for now. We do have an outlandish artifact which we're going to trade in. So we gain 100 echoes for that. We have something like that, he declares, but not very like that. Interesting. I have some ideas about suitable fees. We're going to leave everything else for now. Now we could purchase a elegant townhouse at a good address on Hollow Street, but it will cost us most of our gold. So instead we're just going to stock up on fuel and supplies. And I think I'm going to leave it there for this evening, my dear. Mwah.